Okay, so discussion questions. In the ITC, and like you'll see in CTA as well, they're moving more and more towards discussion questions. In ITC, it's between 60 and 70% of the marks will be for some type of a discussion. There might be calculations involved, and then you must discuss the calculations or what you find in the calculations. But discussion questions are super important. It's because they can test your understanding better with discussion questions. Everyone can do a calculation if you memorize it. If you know a formula, you can pick out the numbers to use, you dump it in there, and you can get the right answer without understanding anything at all. That's how many people pass second year and third year. But if they ask you a discussion question, if I ask you to discuss the concerns relating to the overhead allocation for this company, suddenly you have to understand ABC and you have to understand how the overhead allocation calculation works. Or if they ask you to discuss risks or the break even or whatever, or the ability to reach a target profit, then you have to understand everything surrounding variable costing, absorption costing, CVP. You can't just dump a formula in there and calculate an answer. So discussion questions is definitely going to be a major part of the exam. And this is where students really struggle. There's various reasons for this. One thing that I see so often, and we cover this in our course, is structuring, planning and structuring your answer. Students will just start. They have the answer sort of, and they've identified a couple of things. They'll just start writing. And often they duplicate stuff, or they only focus on one part of the question. If you just quickly stand back and think of what headings could you put down, what could you use to structure this, and look at the mark allocation, very often you can increase your marks by 50% easily just by focusing on the structure. You need to use, or one skill is to use theory to build answers. You'll see answers. You'll see that in the SAICA's comments that I'll put up on the screen just now. Because you have your theory with you, you have all these books and your Tax Act and your ISAs, your CPC, you have everything, all the knowledge with you, you don't get marks for it. So if you state there an asset is a resource under the control of the company due to a past event, you don't get marks for stating that. But you need to still show how you use the theory, apply it to the information from the case, and then come to a conclusion. So you still have to state the theory, but listing the theory won't earn you any marks. So it is a skill that you really have to practice, and we have some nice lectures or lessons on this specific skill, how to apply your theory to the case study in order to build an answer and to get to a conclusion. So I almost have to think like a lawyer. You have a conclusion to make, like this, yes, this is an asset, but you have to prove this to someone else using your laws or case law or your sections of the Tax Act or the IFRS, the criteria and the standards. You have to use the rules, apply to the specifics of this case for this company, and then you have to build an argument or an answer that supports your conclusion. So just that one skill, that's something that you have to practice. It seems easy now, but you have to do it before you get to the exams. You have to practice it until this becomes something that you do almost in your sleep. So application and communication is one big reason we see students fail the ITC and CTA. And like I said, inadequate training is a problem because everything we say in our course makes a lot of sense and a lot of light bulbs will go on. And after our study coaching, the first part of the course, generally students feel quite motivated because they think, yes, this is me, this is what I've been doing, and this is what I should be doing. But you have to then actually go and do it. You have to go and practice it under exam conditions until it becomes easier for you.